Have you ever wished that your editor could do more than just suggesting a few lines of code? Well, this is where VS Code Agent Mode comes into action. And let me tell you, it's not just another autocomplete feature, it's actually like pairing up with an AI agent that can actually code with you, editing files, running terminal commands, and fixing bugs without you having to micromanage every move. Alright, so let's get started. In order to use the newly released agent mode in the VS Code, you first need to have access to the GitHub Copilot. But if you don't already have it, you simply have to go to these extensions right here, and inside the search bar, you have to search for GitHub Copilot, and this is the one that you need to install in your VS Code. And once you have it, now you are all set to use the newly agent mode. So how do you actually get the new agent mode in the VS Code? Well, if you open your Copilot chat from here, and if you come down to your chat sidebar, you will see a drop down menu right here. And if you click on it, you will see that it has three different options: the ask, the edit, and the agent. Now, if your drop down only has two different options, that is because they are slowly rolling out this option to everyone. But no need to worry, I'm going to show you how you can enable it manually. In order to do that, you simply have to go to the user settings by selecting Ctrl Shift P. In the search bar, you have to type user settings. And once you are inside the user settings, you simply have to search for the agent. And this is the checkbox that you need to check in order to have access to this newly released feature. So if yours is probably not checked in, then you are not going to see this agent feature right here inside the Copilot chat. So go ahead and check this box in order to have the new feature enabled. And boom, you have got the agent mode right here inside your VS Code. So you must be thinking, what is actually the difference between the previously present edit mode and the new agent mode? So the main difference is that in edit mode, we have given the VS Code permission to create and modify the files right here inside the project. But inside the agent mode, if you ask the agent to do something inside the project, it is actually going to act a little more like you would if you were given that particular task. So it is going to run through and do all the steps that need to be done in order to take care of the task, which may include creating the files, installing the dependencies, and running the project overall. So let me quickly show you this to you using an example. Firstly, I'm going to go inside the edit mode. Here I have a code snippet that I want to add as the context. So I'm going to go ahead, click on add context and screenshot the window in order to add this as the context. And now for the prompt, I'm going to ask it that I want to build a modern Next.js app that takes my input code snippets and turn them into very awesome looking PNGs. The PNG should be rounded and the code snippet should look something like this, and the image has been added in the context. So once you run it inside the edit mode, you will see that it will start providing you the solution that these are all the necessary files, and in addition to providing the files, it will also create all these files inside the project, but then it will provide you the instructions to use this app, create the new directory, run this command, then run this command, then open this URL in your browser, paste the code in the text area, and then export in PNG to download the image. So here it has just created all of these files, but it has not actually ran all of these commands just like any developer would do in order to complete the task. So the edit mode only provides you the code and generates the files for you that are needed to actually create the project, but will not actually run all the commands just like a developer would do. So the second option is the agent mode. So if I go to the agent mode, add the context once again by adding the screenshot of the window and providing it the same prompt which we have done previously. Let's see how the agent mode responds. So you can see that the GitHub Copilot is actually working on our prompt. It is saying that firstly it is going to create a new Next.js workspace. Then just like the edit mode, it will start creating the file, but firstly it needs to run this command inside your project to install all the dependencies in order for the files to run correctly. So here it is asking for the permission. I'm gonna click on continue. So now it on its own is going to open the terminal and is going to run this command in order to install all the dependency right here inside the project. So you can see that here it is running the command. Here it is asking me for different permissions. So go ahead and configure all of that, and you can see that it has created all of these different files for us, which are necessary for setting up our project with the Tailwind CSS and the TypeScript. Alright, so after downloading all of these different dependencies, it has added 316 packages, audited 317 packages in 5 minutes, and then you get the success message. This means that the project has been created. And you can also get this information from right here. It says that I've created a new Next.js application with TypeScript and Tailwind CSS. Now it needs to install some additional packages that is needed for creating the beautiful code snippet. So let's go ahead and click on continue. Now it is going to open the terminal once again and is going to download and install different dependencies. Now it is asking for permission to download other things. You can see right here inside the terminal, it has written the command and now it is executing this inside the terminal. And you can see that it has added 30 different packages inside the project. Now it is asking for the permission to continue to iterate. So I'm going to click on continue. So here we have a new file called codesnippet.tsx. And now it has changed a new file and is asking for the permission to change it. So I'm going to click on done. And you can see that it has generated a bunch of files for us, which is actually a complete project for a code snippet to PNG converter. And if you want to see how to run this, you can simply go to the readme.md file and you can see that here it has provided you the instruction that you have to go to this URL in order to view the application. And once you run it, this is the application which it has created. You can see that we have 4 different themes for the code preview. You can select anyone that you want and then you have a text box for your code input. So if you paste your code right here, you will see that it will add this inside the preview, which you can easily download as a PNG file. So here is the downloaded file. Let's quickly open it. And you can see that it has converted our code snippet into this amazing PNG file. So this was a basic difference between the edit mode and the agent mode inside the VS Code. So agent mode is the newly released feature of the VS Code that acts as if an actual developer is working with you side by side. So instead of simply editing the files, it is actually running all the different terminal commands in order to actually complete the project and as well as its execution. Now, before we can have Copilot try to build a complete application on its own, we actually need to tell the Copilot about the database, which is going to be the backend to store all the information. But how are we going to do that? Well, here is my database. The name of the database is pet data. It has these 4 tables called owners, pets, procedure details, and procedures history. So if you take a look at the design of the database, this is how it is. These are all the fields which are present in all these tables. But the only way to tell the Copilot about this database is to either write some sort of extension for Copilot that can talk to the database, or we could manually extract all the information within the database and then just give it to the Copilot. But all of this can be a really lengthy process if we have a large number of tables and there are a large number of fields in all of these tables. Then how can we actually do that? This is where MCP servers come into action. The MCP stands for Model Context Protocol and it solves this exact problem. So how can we get the VS Studio to talk to this database? Well, MCP servers are these programs that you download and then run on your machine, and those little programs know how to talk to different things like a Postgre database, a SQL database, etc. And VS Code knows how to talk to all of these programs via the Model Context Protocol. Now the question arises, how can you use all of these things, where to find them, and how to integrate them with the VS Code? Well, at this point, it's basically the Wild West out there. So you have a number of options. Either you can Google search or you can go to this website called the mcp.so. It is a great site providing the MCP server. So here I search for the MCP MySQL server. So to install this thing, it has to actually run locally. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will see that it provides you a wide variety of options for installation. So if you want to install it via Symmetry, this is the command. But if you want to install it manually using the npx, then you can use this command right here. So since we are using the node, so I'm going to be using the npm package manager. So if you look at the configurations right here, you can see that this is the name of the server. So I'm going to copy it from here, head back to your VS Code, then inside your command palette, which you can access using Ctrl+Shift+P, you have to look for MCP. You'll get all of these options for the MCP. Since we want to add a server, so I'm going to click on add server. Then we have to choose the type of the MCP server to add. Since we are working with the node, so I'm going to go with the npm package to install the MCP server using the npm package manager. Now here you have to enter the npm package name, which I've just copied. So I'm going to paste it right here and hit enter. You can see that it is loading the package details. Now it wants our permission to install it since we want this MCP server to run locally. So I'm going to allow it from here. Then it is asking for a MySQL host since the database is running on the local host. So I'm going to provide localhost right here. Then it will ask you for the MySQL user. MySQL user in my case is root, so I'm going to pass it. Then it is going to ask for the password, which is none in my case. And then you have to provide the name of the database. So the name of my database is pet data. I'm going to provide that. And you have to enter the server ID, which in this case is MySQL. After that, you have the option to choose where to save the configurations. If you select the user settings, then this configuration will be available in all the different workspaces and all the different projects that you will create in the VS Code. But if you want this configuration to be available in this particular workspace, then you can select the workspace settings. I'm going to go with the user settings. Once you do that, it is going to create a settings.json file for you. Here you can see that it has created an MCP server for us. You can go ahead and start the server and it will be ready to be used. But before actually before actually running the server, let's quickly go ahead and match the configuration. So you can see that right here inside the configuration for the MCP server, it says that for the environment variable, you have to provide 5 different arguments, which are the host, port, user, password, and database. So if I go to my environment right here, we have the host, user, password, and database, but the port is actually missing. So I'm gonna add the variable for the port, and my SQL server is running on port 3307, which you can verify by looking at your XAMPP server. You can see that it is running on 3307. So I've provided the port here. Now you can go ahead and click on start the server and it will start the server running locally for us. Now in order to verify it, you can simply run a command to test its connection with your database. So I'm gonna ask it, how many tables are in my database? Once you run it, you can see that GitHub Copilot is running and it has provided me the answer that there are 4 different tables in my database: name, pets, owners, procedure details, and procedure history. So this means that we have successfully connected the VS Code to our database using the MCP server. Now we are all set to create a full stack application using the VS Code, because now we can actually integrate it with our database. So I've created a product requirement document, or the PRD, for my scenario. So I'm going to provide it the prompt, create this application, and then I'm going to provide the product requirement document which I've just copied. And you can easily create it using ChatGPT or any other AI model. So let's go ahead and run this. It is going to take some time in order to generate the entire application. Okay, so you can see that it has started creating the front end of the pet care manager application. Firstly, it is creating the component for the page structure. It has made changes to those 2 files, navigation.tsx and button.tsx. Now, if you want to keep all of these changes, simply click on the keep button. Okay, so you can see that it has completed the creation of the application and now it is running the command npm run dev in order to start the Next.js development server. And now it is saying that you can access your pet care manager application by opening your web browser and navigating to this URL. And you can also get this information from here inside the terminal, that this is the local host, this is the network host, and the application is started. So let's go ahead and view this URL. And on the basis of the provided PRD, which is a product requirement document, it has generated this application for us. We have a dashboard showing the total number of owners, the total number of registered pets, the procedures done on the registered pet, and the treatment records. Now, if you want to go ahead and add a new pet, simply click on this add pet right here. It will ask you to enter the pet name. So the name is gonna be Max. It is going to be a dog. And you have to enter its breed. It is a golden retriever. Then we have to provide the age. You have to select the gender. It is male. You have to enter the color, which is golden. Then you have to select the owner. And if you want to provide any health information, then you can do that and simply click on add pet. Once you do that, you can see that your pet has now been displayed right here. The species is golden retriever dog. Owner is John Smith, and these are all the other pets which are actually fetched from the database. And similarly, you can go ahead and view the different owners that have been fetched from the database, and you can go ahead and add a new owner which will be added to the database as well. So these were all the amazing new features which are provided by the VS Code to all of you. So I'll highly encourage all of you to try it out for yourself and let me know in the comments what you think about it. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.